Ceacht, Dachada Hacht, 48. An Chéad Declina, the first declension. Nouns decline. They have different shapes, different forms, depending on how they're used. This is some of the stuff we just went over. But this is now the most common group, maybe one of the most common groups of nouns. Most of them are masculine. Most of them behave with a very easy pattern. You have the nominative form, you have the genitive form, and then they kind of switch places in the plural. The same form pretty much of the genitive singular is the spelling of the nominative plural, and the same spelling of the nominative singular is the genitive plural. Only a few of them don't do that. What I'm talking about, first one in the list, on bod, the boat. The genitive of a masculine puts a lenition, so it's on waj, A-I-D, but without the lenition, just boj, would be the same spelling as the plural, na boj. You see that? And then the plural genitive always has an eclipsis, na mod, but the spelling B-A-D is the same spelling as the nominative singular, so they're kind of inside out in the plurals. That's how I think of it anyway. So they give you all kinds of examples. There's lots of things to study here. They give you other vocabulary. And actually in the reading portion, it's the first little thing that's more than a sentence or two that they give you to read. So that's good practice. Masculine nouns starting with a vowel in the nominative will have a T dash in front of them. And that's a noun starting with a vowel after na will have an H in front of them for the plurals. Genitive plurals always eclipse, or if it's a vowel, they put an N dash in front of it. So let's take one of those. Antassel, anasil, nahassel, nanassel. But the spelling of the noun itself is ASAL for the nominative singular, ASAIL for the genitive singular, then you reverse them. ASIL for the nominative plural, and ASAL for the genitive plural, plus the initial mutations. Okay, so you have a whole list of nouns to study and learn in this chapter. There's no way around it. You have to spend time in that. Then there's a whole other page adding some of the details. There are other times when you prefix an H. Like I said, in the plural, it's before a vowel. The H before a vowel also happens after L-E, and G, G-O. Those are the simple prepositions they're talking about. The N is the genitive plural. It prefixes the vowel, or, yeah, they give you those examples. Okay, so, and then they give you the bird, antain, that's the nominative singular. Kjol an ain, the genitive singular. Erenain, it's actually the dative. Nahain, the nominative plural. Kjol nanain, the genitive plural. Ernahain, that's actually the dative also, although in most nouns the dative and the nominative and other forms are all the same basic form. So, the other things that happen in the changing from the nominative to the genitive is a lot of times words ending in CH will change to IGH. So, on markach, kapel on warkig, or iwarki if you don't want to pronounce the G. Okay, the T before an S we've seen before. If you remember that takes the place of lenition, you'll always know when to use it, because it can only do lenition in certain conditions. But there will this will happen on these masculine nouns in the genitive case. So ansaura is a masculine noun, tus antaurig is the genitive. Okay, so that's another thing that happens. Sometimes there's a vowel pair that also shifts into the genitive. So EA will become an I sometimes. Far becomes fer. Ifada A becomes Ifada I sometimes. It's just slenderizing. And there's my phone. And then a few of the last ones have a strong plural ending, which means that the genitive and the nominative are the same spelling, except for that eclipsis, of course. Sorry about the phone. Enjoy chapter 48.